When UFC 307 was announced, MMA fans, MMA media, and the MMA community as a whole did nothing but complain about the fact that Khalil Rountree was getting a title shot. People talking about he's ranked 8th. Why would he get a title shot? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk through the top 5, explain why I don't think any of them deserve a title shot, and talk about why Khalil Rountree actually is a good and a dangerous matchup for Alex Pereira. If we take a look at the top 5 of the UFC's light heavyweight division, there's a lot of familiar names on here. And that's because Alex Pereira has beaten 3 of them already. He knocked out Yuri Prochazka twice, most recently in June. He knocked out Jamal Hill at UFC 300, and Jamal is injured. He beat Jan Blachowicz in a relatively close but pretty uneventful fight, and since then, Jan hasn't done too much. The only 2 people on here that Alex Pereira hasn't already beaten are Magomed Ankalaev and Alexander Rakic. Alexander Rakic also lost at UFC 300. He was knocked out by #1 Yuri Prochazka. Alexander Rakic has had a couple of ups and downs over the last few years with injuries and then that knockout loss that really doesn't qualify him for a title shot. And then we have Magomed Ankalaev, the #2, the consensus person that people think should be getting this title shot. I don't think he's getting this title shot for a few reasons. One, he's absolutely boring as shit. You're just not gonna get a title shot against what is the UFC's #1 star right now on the planet. UFC's cash cow right now is Alex Pereira. There's not a bigger star than him. Conor McGregor's never fighting again, so he's out of the equation. Sean O'Malley does not sell tickets. Who else could it possibly be? It is Alex Pereira who saved UFC 300, saved UFC 303, who has wild knockout highlights, people saying Chama everywhere he goes. Alex Pereira is the UFC's cash cow. So they're not matching him up against the most boring guy in the division. They're just not gonna do it. And you can call it Dana White privilege if you want, but if we back up and use objective facts, Ankalaev has already had a crack at the title, and he blew it. He blew it. He did not win the belt. What has he done? He beat the chinniest Johnny Walker on planet Earth? No contest with Johnny before that? Like, what has Magomed Ankalaev done that he's the consent, oh, he 100% deserves this title shot? And the reality is, not much. This is a pretty weak division right now, and Alex Pereira is standing at the top, and he's done the UFC enough favors that they're gonna give him a matchup that he wants. And that is Khalil Rountree. The reality is, though, Khalil Rountree is not only deserving, he is on a 5-fight win streak. He's a dangerous matchup. Unlike Yuri, he's not chinny and doesn't throw big, looping, ridiculous shots. Unlike Jamal Hill, he's not training with what looks like a computer nerd class in 1990. Khalil Rountree moved to Thailand to master his craft. He came back looking better than ever, throwing straight punches lightning fast. He is accurate, he is dangerous, and he's a tough matchup for Alex Pereira. I still think Alex wins, he should win, but the reality is Khalil Rountree is a deserving matchup. More than this chinny bum who's been knocked out twice, more than this wet blanket, more than this heel who was just knocked out, more than, what is the nicest guy, I have nothing bad to say, and more than a very recently knocked out Alexander Rakic.